I'm back. It's Sherry. Many of you know that I am offering the Emotion Code free samples live weekly on Facebook. And the reason I started this back in January was to help educate people in this modality and how it works and its processes. But I also wanted to do this to inspire and encourage people to embrace remote distance application. I've been offering remote distance healing and balancing since 2012. In my live private sessions, I use Zoom with the same accuracy as if somebody were sitting in my office. I have clients across the globe, Spain, France, Hong Kong, Australia, as well as across the United States. And it's important to note we all have emotional baggage. And here's an example of what it's like for the body carrying trapped emotion around. It's like dragging suitcases full of rocks through life. Really, truly. And everything we're capable of attaining is slowed down. This is a form of muscle testing similar to kinesiology using magnets. We use the magnets to locate and remove trapped energy. It's actually tapping into the subconscious of a person or an animal. And I've worked on animals. They are wonderful to work on. And it's important to note again, we need to always ask permission to connect to their subconscious. You can't just jump right in and go for it. And the difference being the conscious mind is where we live, make daily decisions. And it's been said that we only use 1/10 of our consciousness. Well, I think that's off. We actually use less than that. The subconscious mind is the bulk of our intelligence, connected to universal intelligence, and is massive. So I'm going to show you an example of something that I felt very close and dear to, that I think is very close to the representation of conscious mind versus subconscious mind. So it's an iceberg. The conscious mind is the top half above the waterline of the ocean. Very small in comparison. I mean, look at how massive the bottom half of this iceberg is. That's your subconscious. Your subconscious knows everything about you, every ill you ever had, every thought you ever had. So because it's tapped into universal intelligence, all the information that we're getting is from that. So we as practitioners, our ego steps aside. It has nothing to do with it at all. So normally emotions are felt, then we process them. But sometimes emotional energy becomes stuck, and simply the body is vulnerable, or the emotion we experienced was very intense, like divorce, death, job loss. And it can even happen with something that's wonderful going on in our lives. Let's say you got a wonderful new job with a great new pay raise, and you're moving to a beautiful place in California. Well, you're leaving all your friends and family. So that can also give you some trapped emotion, because it can be a little distressing to leave everybody behind. So with that said, the emotion code is just a tool to cut loose the baggage. Then we're able to attract the things that we really want without guilt. And that's the important aspect to hang on to here. Attract. With trapped emotion in the system, it's a low vibration frequency, very dense and heavy. So consequently, we keep attracting the same frequency and things that we don't want. And it's in layers. It keeps coming at us, and we build on that. So that's not something that we want to keep. 90% of people's physical or emotional pain is due to their emotional baggage, causing inflammation, pain, congestion, self-sabotage, reoccurring just emotional distress, depression, anxiety, and a host of more. That's only a few. There are actually 60 trapped emotions that we kind of go with on the flow chart that we're using. 60. So the belief in this work is that there is at least 365 trapped emotions, one for every day of the year, in any person's body. And I have to say, I can attest to that, because I've been working on myself now for about 1.5 years-ish using this modality, and I have easily released 400 trapped emotions from my own system, not including a heart wall, and I did have a heart wall and I had it released. So I can attest to that is actual fact. I have done some work on myself, and I'm still doing some work on myself. I do it every single week. I work on myself weekly. We generally start adding layers of trapped emotions in our childhood. The emotion code is one of the most powerful tools created to help. Trapped emotion is a small ball of energy, the size of a baseball, but it can also be the size of a cantaloupe. So it can maybe start out at this size, but it can grow to this size. Can you imagine something that's that dense and heavy stuck on your gallbladder, or stuck on your liver, or stuck on your heart, or stuck on your arm, or your shoulder, or your neck? All that trapped energy is in layers. That's very heavy for the body to keep carrying around and carrying around. So trapped emotions are usually under the skin surface, immune to magnetic releasing, until we go through the process of identifying it with the flow chart and which organ was disrupted. And I'm going to show you the chart here in a second. This is the flow chart we use. Okay, so your subconscious, once we tap in, it's going to send us to one of these two, column A or column B. And there's 5 trapped emotions in each one of these cell clusters. And we're going to ask, once it sends us to one of these cell clusters, we're going to ask each of the 5, is it this one, is it this one, is it this one, is it this one? We're going to get a yes or a no. Using kinesiology, we're going to get a yes or a no answer. So it's amazing how this works. It then comes to the surface of the consciousness, is what it's doing. It's coming to the surface of the consciousness to be released. And then we use a magnet to actually release that. So what we use is the governing meridian line. It starts about here, go up over the crown and down the back. So we use a magnet. You can use an expensive one or a very inexpensive one off your refrigerator. They all work. They're great. Right over the top. And we do 3 rolls over the top. If someone has an inherent trapped emotion, we use 10 rolls over the top and down. Okay? So just to give you an idea how that works. So that's the governing meridian line. So let me just show you another chart. I'm going to get it ready, but I'm not going to show it to you yet. Governing meridian does start here and goes up and down the back of the spine. But most importantly, magnets are powerful carriers of intentions. And that is the reason we put the magnets in that field of energy with that positive intention to release whichever trapped emotion your subconscious sent us to find and locate that's stuck in your body. With that positive intention to release it, we use a magnet. They're very powerful as far as holding intention. So once we've located it, we use a magnet and remove it. And then it's released. The energy is then dispersed throughout your body. And that's why most people feel an impact immediately, even with just 3 releases from the body. So let me just show you this. Now the governing meridian line, like I told you, is here, over the top and down through the spine to the base. When we're doing a proxy, all we have to do is this, down the neck, because we're in that field of energy, okay? And this is the chart of the meridians, okay? So your meridian that we're using, the governing meridian, is not on here. It's huge. It's connected to every one of these meridian lines. It's connected to all of them. So that's why somebody feels the relief immediately, even with just 3 trapped emotion releases. Because as soon as we put it in the field, it's connected. It's the largest reservoir of energy, and it's connected to every single one of these meridian lines. So as soon as we do this and run it through, it travels the intention throughout your whole body and releases that trapped emotion. It searches for it and releases it from your system. And here's all of the organs that the meridian lines travel through. So I thought you might find that fascinating. So this particular modality is very efficient and effective with quick turnaround time. It works on emotional distress as well as physical pain. So when people are coming in and joining me on Facebook and they're going to have 3 trapped emotions released, I ask them, please let me know which one it is. Is it physical pain we're working on, or is it emotional distress that we're working on? And then let me know what level the pain is, from 1 to 10, 10 being the worst. And then that's it. So there you have it. That's a brief synopsis of the emotion code and what I am doing to help people understand this work and have some benefit from it. Experience it first so that you know where you want to go. You know, there's so many modalities out there. Everybody is kind of shuffling around. Which one do I try? I want to try this. I want to try that. I don't know if they're any good. I don't know if that works. This gives people an opportunity to test the waters because it does work. And, you know, Dr. Brad Nelson, the founder of this work, he's been using this for 30 years. So it has to work, or we wouldn't be in business. I mean, there's 68 countries right now that have 4,000 of us certified practitioners working in 68 different countries with this work. So it does work. It's marvelous, and you just feel the impact immediately. You feel lighter after you have this work done. Some people feel a little bit heavier or worse after, depending on the pain that they're in and how long it's been there. There's lots of contingencies, but for the most part, it's released. And then you just go through an adjustment period. The adjustment period is 2 to 3 days. After the 2 or 3 days, I tell people during those adjustment periods, make sure that you do an Epsom salt bath or an Epsom salt foot soak, either one, 20 minutes. It's wonderfully helpful. Half a cup to a cup really does help to calm down your nervous system, because it's like putting holes. Let me just show you this, one more thing. It's like putting holes in your field of energy. Let's just say there's holes here in these chakra centers, okay, in your body. Okay, so here's your body, and here's all your chakra centers, okay? And let's just say, see all these little holes I just penciled in? Let's say you have little holes in your body now, all over the place, because there were trapped emotions released from your body. So that dense energy is now gone, but it left a hole. So now your whole body is feeling better and lighter because it is gone, but it has to fill in that void, it has to fill in those holes. So there's your adjustment period, 2-3 days to fill that in with your beautiful energy without all the junk in it. So I just thought you find that interesting, and I wanted to give everybody a little update. So I will be back because there's more to this work. There's also something called the inherited trapped emotions, and I'm going to do another video for that. And there's also something called the heart wall that we can find, and there are 5 symptoms that somebody can follow if they think they have a heart wall. So there you have it. Thank you again. I hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope that you will tune in sometime on Facebook and sample it, give it a try. And for more information on this work with the emotion code, go to my website, energyworkstudio.com, 1 S between work and studio. When you go to my website, when it opens, before you go to any icons, scroll immediately to the bottom of the page, and you'll see 2 very short video demonstrations by Dr. Brad Nelson. One is a heart wall release, one is just a basic trapped emotion release. You can also go to my videos page. That's my TV show, Sherry's Metaphysical Corner. There's lots of videos in there with demonstrations about the emotion code. So check that out too. All right. In the meantime, I hope everybody has a great afternoon, a great weekend. And again, love and light frequencies coming your way.